Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another segment of Asaph Cafe. I am your host, Asaph Adonai, and on my immediate left, affectionately, we have our aging rocker, Emmett, who's going to be with us today, and this time I'm watching my time. And Linda Briggs Curtis is back, and our special guest is Miss Measha Porter, and she's going to be talking to us about Special Olympics and all the things associated with that. So I forgot my candelabra today.
Yeah.
So we have Superman here sitting in with us today for my candelabra. So the Man of Steel will be
Fascinating.
He'll be in my candelabra for this edition here, and probably the next one because it'd take too long to go all the way home to go get my candles.
Yes.
So you guys make yourself at home, and Emmett, you can start us off.
Thank you, O God, for food. Thank you for our time together in Jesus' name.
Amen. So anyway, I'm going to start with night and day.
I love cold porter.
Yep.
My favorite is in the still of the night. Love it.
Measha, do you know this song?
No, I don't.
It's called Night and Day
Cool.
by Frank Sinatra. Beautiful.
It was just a few months ago that I watched the biographical film about Cole Porter.
Oh, the composer of the song?
He really led an eventful life, and he was in a horse riding accident in 1938 or 39, and after that he was in tremendous pain for always. Both his legs had been broken
Really?
in the upper bones, and still through all that pain he was able to continue to compose. He had Kismet was his last major. Kismet was his last major hit, but before that it was Kiss Me Kate.
I see.
Kiss Me Kate was 1953.
1953?
All those years that he's gone in that extreme pain.
Mm-hmm. Emmett, what I'm going to do is when you put your plate back up here, I'm going to put this here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some of the grease is going through. There we go.
Yep, that's a good
You
idea.
didn't
Yep.
realize that, would you?
No, I didn't realize that.
All
And
right.
I told Measha we'll try not to bombard her too much with super sci-fi and all that stuff, but yeah, we got Superman sitting in with us today.
Yep.
But we have to keep this piano clean.
We will. So, Measha, we're going to start off by telling you about Superman. Now, you know Superman's from the planet Krypton, right? And his world, when he was an infant baby, his father, Jor-El, was warning the people, kind of like Noah's Ark, warning the people that the planet was going to blow up, but the scientists didn't believe Jor-El. They thought he was a nut. So he builds a ship for his family, but he didn't have time to make the ship big enough for he and his wife and the little baby. So they put the baby in the ship and decided they'll just save the life of their child.
Mm-hmm.
So when they shot the rocket off into space, the planet Krypton blew up.
Yeah.
And when little Kal-El, the little infant baby, was in the ship, when he got exposed to the rays of the sun, that's what altered his body and gave him the superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
But he had to learn how to use those powers. And of course, his adoptive parents, Martha and Clark, even Kent, they raised the boy,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes on to become Superman. So
I love the Superman concept. Yeah, I've seen the movies. I didn't like the new movie made last year or the year before called Man of Steel, but
yeah, some of those are,
I
you know.
yeah. Do you remember the one with Christopher Reeves, Superman?
Yeah, that was
1978?
pretty
That was
good.
great. I loved the Christopher Reeves ones, for the
I
most part.
did. Did you see any of those Superman movies, Measha?
Yeah, I saw the first one.
The one with Christopher Reeves?
Yes.
What
That
did
was
you think of
very
it?
good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, they kind of get, a little fancy with these Superman movies now, and they're not the same, So,
I think the special effects are just way overdone.
on the newer
So
ones, yeah.
busy with super effects that they can't keep track of the more important things.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. But I've always thought Superman was very inspiring,
Yeah, it's a pretty cool concept, Guy from another planet fights for
Truth, justice, and the American way. Fly
Yeah.
through the air. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
I wonder what Measha would be like if she were a superhero.
I thought she was.
Well, she is. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Maybe Measha can't fly in the air like Supergirl, but she can fly as far as Special Olympics.
Is there an envelope with writing on there over there
I don't see
where you guys are sitting?
I don't
An
see
envelope?
Is there one right here?
I don't see an envelope. No.
I thought maybe on the seat.
Did you leave it somewhere? Yeah.
It's not over here.
You lose something?
Yeah, it was a piece of paper with writing all over it.
Okay, let's see if we
Wait,
can
a
find
piece of paper? There's one on that chair.
Oh, that's the one.
Hey, will you get my book while you're going up there too, Measha?
Why don't I get it?
I have some notes up there. I have some notes in that book.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, okay,
No,
yeah.
it's here.
Would you hand that to me?
Sure. And for that, I'll charge another piece of pizza.
Go ahead. I have some notes today, Measha, that I have prepared
Yes.
for Special Olympics. Anyway, I wanted to thank you, young lady, for being part of this show today.
Yep.
Are you
We do
familiar?
too.
Are you familiar with the Missoula Development Service Corporation?
No, I'm not.
Well, they kind of do. My understanding, they work with what's called intellectual disabilities, people with intellectual disabilities, and I think they did some funding for this organization. Anyway, this Missoula Development Service Corporation, they serve adults with intellectual disabilities. Is
I
what they
kinda
do.
have.
Yeah, they serve that, and I think they have like job opportunities for them and things like that. There's also an organization called the Bitterroot Therapeutic Writing Stables. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, I'm not involved with that one, but I am involved with the faith therapeutic.
Faith
Therapeutic writing.
All right. You want to tell us a little bit about that, then?
That's where I go. It's in Florence. I
You
go
can just
there.
look in there and just talk to
It's
them.
in Florence. I go there to write with the group down there called Faith Therapeutic
Okay.
Writing, and that's where I can train for my Special Olympics.
Okay, that's what you're trying for. Now you're getting ready. You're getting ready to do the Special Olympics, right?
Yes, in May 18th, 19th, and 20th, and the athletes arrive into town from all over Montana on the 17th, and we start
Good.
our competition on the 8th.
On the 18th.
Yeah.
And I understand you're doing 2 or 3 events yourself.
I'm doing a total of 4 events.
Okay.
One is the 400-meter walk, one is the turbo jab, and 2 equestrian events.
Good for you. Good for you.
Well, I saw one of your events was powerlifting.
That was in 1995.
Wow.
See, she's a supergirl.
Been
See?
around,
What is
she's
powerlifting?
been around for a what?
Powerlifting is
Oh,
lifting weights.
weightlifting. Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
So see, even though
I love it.
though Measha doesn't come from another planet like Superman,
Yeah.
she's a supergirl in her
I love
own
it, I
right
love it,
with
yeah.
her accomplishments in Special Olympics and competing.
Wonderful.
And I'm wearing 2 of her medals right now. I have the Olympic World Summer Games, the Special Olympics World
That
Summer
is from
Games.
powerlifting.
Yeah, and that was in '95.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
this other one is the, I don't know if it shows, it probably won't show
No,
up on
it
camera.
does. That's a small. No, that's a silver medal. That is either that's from one of many events I have done: track and field, swimming,
Good for you.
bowling.
Have you been in sports as far as Special Olympics all of your life?
Over 30 years.
Good for you. Now, like I said, you can just keep looking that way and just talk to them, even though I'm asking you a
Over
question.
30 years.
Good. I'm very proud of you, Measha. That's pretty cool.
Thank
That's
you.
quite an
The
accomplishment.
medal says skill, courage, sharing, and joy.
Yes, sir.
I'm wearing a silver medal myself that has the same thing.
Yeah.
What event was that in?
It's in one of many events I've done. Track and field, swimming,
Wonderful.
bowling, soccer.
Wonderful.
What's your absolute favorite?
Right now, it's the horseback riding.
And what kind of gaits and paces do they do?
What?
What kind of gaits and paces do they do with the horseback riding?
I do trail, and I do one where the judges tell you how to, what to do and we have to do it.
So it's more or less on demand.
Yeah.
That's my little feeble attempt at the Olympic theme song.
I think
Oh,
the
cool.
trail would probably be the most challenging, wouldn't it? Because
Yeah.
it can involve some.
The one where the judges
know
tell you what to do is the most challenging for me.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have to be able to listen.
Now, did you get exposed to that through your parents originally when you were a little girl? When you first started competing?
No, I got interested through other people that I known from school, and they
Okay.
were doing it.
Do you remember what grade you were in when you were first interested?
I think I was in grade school.
Okay, good for you. Well, you've got a lot of medals here on the table, as we can see, and those were medals that you got over the years, right?
Over 30.
Over 30 years?
Yeah.
See, that makes you a Supergirl. I call her Supergirl. Let's see if I can figure out how to play Superman. Let's see.
It's a bird, it's a plane.
Yeah.
Something like this.
Oh, I love that theme. I love the movies, yep.
Remember that?
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it.
Never mind. I don't know how to play that.
Oh, I loved it.
But yeah, that was quite the movie,
Mm-hmm.
Superman. But I
And
just like that whole concept.
Exactly.
Like this one guy that gets saved to go to another planet, and the
Yeah.
sun's rays altered his body to give him the superpowers.
Yeah. Superman 2 and Superman 2 was very good too. That was the one with the three arch criminals. I've forgotten. There's General
Yeah,
Zod.
see, they were stuck in what was called the Phantom Zone.
Yes.
You know, before Krypton blew up,
Uh-huh.
there were these three evil scientists. And so their punishment was to go into the Phantom Zone, which is like this little glass that they'll be trapped in this
Yep.
glass forever.
Yep.
And then, of course, they're floating through space as punishment. And how they got out of that Phantom Zone, Superman, by the time he was an adult and saving the world from the missiles, he threw one of the missiles out in space, and the Phantom Zone happened to be going through the Earth's atmosphere, when Superman threw the missile out to save everybody. So the missile blew up the Phantom Zone,
Yeah.
and those three criminals got loose.
Yeah.
And so since they were exposed to the sun's rays, they were just as powerful as Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
they made Superman's life miserable when
Yeah,
he
they
went to
did.
the Earth. They were going to try to conquer.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine three beings as powerful as Superman?
That's amazing. Yeah.
And that was a pretty cool concept.
It was an excellent. It was based on the comic books, but it was an excellent movie. Superman 3, it was kind of good, but kind of idiotic in a sense. I kind of thought Superman 3.
Yeah, and then by the time they got to Superman 4, it was absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, it was. Superman 4 was a joke. I saw it in the theater, and it was so bad.
it was bad. And
The Quest for Peace, yeah.
I didn't care for that.
It was
and
so-
I like Richard Pryor, but he was just not right for that.
No, he was not,
I
no.
didn't think.
Well,
But
that's
just my opinion.
there was one comedy thing that he did where he was trying to get this element to destroy a Superman, and he was going to present it to Superman. I thought it was funny. He pretended to be this, I don't even know. I have it on audio tape. This person that was giving this award, and it was something about plastic seats, and I about died laughing. What do you sit on? You sit on molded plastic seats! And I was dying laughing. I had tears in my eyes. I had to record that. Superman, you saved our bacon, and this is for our gratitude. Of course, it was this, ended up, should I ruin the plot? I don't want to ruin the plot for
I
anyone.
don't even worry about that. That's so many years ago. It was over 20
All right.
years ago.
They were going to design kryptonite, which would kill Superman. You know, this
Right,
evil.
I remember that.
But it ended up not being kryptonite. He added tar because he was smoking a cigarette. But it turned Superman evil. It made
Yeah.
Superman sick, and it made his outfit, his blue outfit, gray, and he turned into this evil guy. And
I
so
remember that.
finally became good again. But anyway, I thought it was funny. You know, Superman, I'm from the military, and how did it go? Do you like to sit on plastic seats, you people? You sit them on the church, on the Super Bowl, or something about, what? Do you sit on what? Molded? You sit on molded plastic seats! Molded? You can't anymore! Well, Superman, I thought I was going to die laughing. I have it on tape. You sit on molded plastic seats! I thought I was going to die laughing. I have so many. It was worth the movie just to see Richard Pryor do that.
Yeah.
Measha, do you have any special people who coached you or mentored you when you were in Special Olympics, and what would you?
One was Spitzer Barker when I did the powerlifting. He was one of my coaches before I went to the competition, and then I had another coach down there. I can't remember his name right off the bat right now, but my coach at home was Spitzer Barker.
And he must have been pretty special and inspiring.
Yeah, he would, yeah. And he went to the World Games, not with me, with my group of powerlifters, but he went as a track coach. Yeah, so.
It's nice to have somebody who's willing to put in the time and work with you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice for other people who want
What?
Do you have any advice for people who want to compete?
Go to somt.org if you want to become an athlete,
Uh-huh.
and you can sign up, get the form there to sign up. Or it also has phone numbers in there, so you can contact people in that area that you're living in, and they will help you get signed up.
Good.
Or even as a volunteer, we're asking for volunteers for May, in May. It's May 17th, 18th, and 19th that they need volunteers. And go to somt.org and sign up to be a volunteer, because we love to have volunteers just cheering to go on. People were cheering in all sorts of such areas. We have a carnival and dance that we do on Thursday night that they need volunteers for. There's so many places that we need volunteers for to help out.
And that website again is what?
SMOT.
SMOT.
SOMT.org.
Okay.
SMOT.org. Okay, got it.
SpecialOlympicsMontana.org. I
Yeah,
guess.
you know, but it's called, they say it's
MT,
SOMT.org.
Okay. And are there any expenses associated with competing?
You don't have to have any, you don't have to be trained in those areas. You just go and help out.
Well, you know.
Well, I mean, when you are an athlete, are there expenses involved for you?
You have to go get a physical done to be an athlete, and that's it. And then you go and train. We train year round.
And other than that, all your travel expenses and everything else are paid.
Yeah.
Wonderful. There are some people who might be hesitant to get involved because they think they're going to have.
What?
There might be some people who hesitate to get involved because they're afraid they're going to have to put out money.
Don't be scared to come and try it out, because I was nervous when I first started, and now I shine at it.
Yeah, you sure do. We got your medals to prove that.
Look at that pile of medals.
That's wonderful.
Wow, and pins.
Those pins I got when I went to the World Games in 1995 and 2011. And we got to trade. The pins are on these things. We got to trade for other athletes from all over the world. We got to trade the pins.
Super.
Yeah.
What an experience.
And if they didn't have pins, they gave whatever they had to trade. Like the little koalas I have there and the fan and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Instead of giving me a pin, they would give me one of those.
So the koalas were from Australia and the fans were
Uh-huh.
from Japan? Or
The
China?
pins from all over the world.
Cool. Well, I've shared this story once before. about 30 years ago, I got to play for the Jeffrey Foundation in California. They worked with people with special needs, mostly children. And what they did was they invited me to play for them for 3 days. So I stayed at the foundation. They had like sleeping quarters there at the time. I don't know if you ever heard of this organization. And I played music for these children and played with these kids, and it was just such a blast. And Connie Stevens, the famous actress, was making her appearance. So before Connie Stevens showed up, like the next day, those kids were all singing this song that was written just for this actress, you know, stating that she was coming. And these children were just such a delight. They were just such delightful children. They had like various disabilities and things like that, but they were just so fun. They were fun to play and hide, and we like played like hide and seek and all kinds of fun things. And it was just a blast. It was fun playing for them. And
Ernest Kennedy Shriver started it in her backyard doing a Shriver camp first, and in 1968 in Chicago was the first international Special Olympics.
And you're still a global ambassador, right?
Yes, I sure am.
Good for you.
What does that involve? Do you have a lot of travel associated?
I go around the state of Missoula here, and I can go and talk to like the interstate banks all over, or any place that they want me to come and speak on the behalf of Special Olympics and talk about.
I suppose they ask you to speak at schools.
Huh?
At schools.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to a training class to be able to do
Super.
This is such a cool song.
I know you don't know this about me, but I was a speech teacher,
it. That's cool.
and I taught people how to make speeches. And of course, the main thing is that you have something worthwhile to say, and you want badly enough to get it across.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, is the
Yeah.
desire
Yes.
to communicate.
Was this in high school that you were a speech teacher, or somewhere,
Well,
or college, or where?
I did teach competitive speech in high school,
Wonderful.
but
And
I taught
Mrs. Shriver
at the
starts-
college level.
Cool.
Mrs. Shriver started Special Olympics because of her sister Rosemary, who had an intellectual disability, and she wanted her to be able to compete like everybody else.
And
Wonderful.
that was a noble thing to do.
Yeah. And now it's millions of people with disabilities are able to compete.
Wonderful.
They have unified sports now, and unified means it's one athlete with one non-athlete. Or if it's a team of 4, if it's a team of 8, it's 4 non-athletes against 4 athletes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's have some fun. And Measha,
Well,
thanks for.
one of the points that one of the attitudes that I approached teaching was to treat my students as if they were who they were supposed to be, instead of what somebody else called them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or whatever, and it worked.
Yeah.
And I think this is a little bit of the same concept.
Yeah.
I took speech class in junior high in Lewiston, Jennifer Junior High in Lewiston, and I loved speech class. I loved getting up there and speaking impromptu, learning about speech. We learned about Ralph's Rules of Order. That was one of my favorite classes of all time in school, was speech. Speech was a lot of fun, and I loved getting up in front of the class and talking about what I felt were the important issues of the day. Maybe that's how I got my cut on my show that I'm starting, The Awful Truth About Society, was speech, because I talked even about peace speeches. I talked about world problems and world peace and what hinders world peace. That was my passion, and I love doing it.
Good.
And it was well received, and I just thank the Lord for it. But that was the last speech I gave. That speech was about world problems and peace and social justice, and I felt empowered, and the kids liked it, and I felt like $1,000,000, and I praised the Lord for it. But I had to go home and play some triumphant classical music. I can't remember who, but it was great. I just loved it. Loved speech. It was wonderful.
Oh, that's just wonderful. And Measha, I couldn't be more proud of you for not only your accomplishments, but your dedication to Special Olympics and your interest in it, and the
And all
things that
the
you continue to do
speeches.
today. Not only the speeches, but just the competition, the being the global ambassador.
Yep.
I mean, I know I tease you sometimes about science fiction, but I think you're a real sweetie, and I
Yeah.
think that That's a very wonderful thing that you do. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to acknowledge you on television and say thank you for your contribution to the not only the world of Special Olympics with people with disabilities.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You should be very proud of that. You should be very proud of that.
I am.
Good for you. And Linda, how have you been?
I've been all right.
Good.
Monday night, we had our monthly birthday party at Missoula Manor. For those of you who don't know, Missoula Manor is a senior citizens residence. And I belong there because I'm 67. And I was appointed to be the MC of the talent portion of the birthday party, or actually the entire birthday party. We had a lady who plays piano by ear and sings, and she was our main entertainment. But we had 7 acts of resident talent.
Good.
Some of them read things. One band played the ukulele and sang. I sang 2 numbers. I did Old Folks from Jacques Brel and Sunrise Sunset from Fiddler on the Roof. And we presented cards to everybody whose birthday was unique handmade cards to everybody whose birthday was is in April.
Okay.
And one man, well, I directed a scene too, a short scene from You Can't Take It With You.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had one man who recited from memory The Touch of the Master's Hand.
Hmm.
I was so impressed.
Well,
Anyway, it was really nice, and Scott came over with the cameras from MCAT and taped it.
Wonderful.
cool.
So you'll be seeing it on channel 189
Do you have a date yet on
as soon as they get
that?
time for it. No, Lori said she hasn't got a space to schedule it yet.
Okay.
She still has,
Well, she'll probably send you an email and let you know
Yeah,
when
she
they're going
will
to do that, and
email
you can
me.
let everybody at the manor know
Right.
when you're going to be on, and they can see themselves on TV.
and you can see it too.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you if you want to sing a verse from Sunrise Sunset.
Well,
Can you
I
do that
would.
on the spur of the moment?
Sure.
Okay.
And I really wanted to do April showers.
Okay, you can do them both if you want. Can you connect them together?
We can all sing it together.
I don't know what key you did that in, so
Yeah.
you just start singing.
I don't know either. I sang it way too low for me because I wanted other people to sing along.
All right, well, you just pick, I tell you what, you just pick a key in your mind that you think is comfortable, and then I'll just fill in.
Well, what was that, C?
No, that's D minor.
Oh. Okay, I'll just do that.
I don't know what key you did because I didn't see it, so just pick a key that's comfortable.
Yeah, I don't.
Just start singing, I'll come in.
Okay. Is this the little girl I carried? Is this the little boy at play? I don't remember growing older. When did they? When did she get to be a beauty? When did he grow to be so tall? Wasn't it yesterday that they were small? Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly flow the days. Sun seedlings turn overnight to sunflowers, blossoming even as we gaze. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly flow the years.
Oh, I don't know if that's the key you sang it in at the thing, but I hope that wasn't.
Either. I don't even have a voice today.
Well, that sounded fine to me.
Yeah.
You know, good job. And
See,
this time
I just cared about doing it.
and all I wanted to do was I just played plain chords just so you could.
Yeah.
That's all. No tricks.
And yeah, there is. And when you see clouds upon the hill, you soon will see crowds of daffodils. So keep on looking for a bluebird and listening for his song whenever April showers come along. That's just the last part.
Mhm.
Okay, good for you. Well done.
Because I like April showers, bring April flowers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I used to have a shower curtain with the sheet music for it on it.
Fascinating.
Oh, I see. Measha, do you know how to sing any songs?
Not really.
Well, let's see.
I sing with music behind, at CDs at home.
Okay, let's have fun. Let's see if we can get Measha to get a tune out of this young lady here.
You know Happy Trails?
Huh?
Happy Trails, the old Roy Rogers song.
A little bit.
Well, I was
yeah.
thinking more like, what was that scene in Star Trek V when they were singing that song at the camp?
Oh yeah, row, row, row your
Yeah,
boat.
do you know Row Your Boat?
Yeah.
Let's have fun with that.
Should we do it as a round?
Yeah. You start it, Lyndon, and Measha, you come in, and then
Yeah.
Emmett, you come in, and I will just play. Let's pick a key. This should be a good one.
Okay. Row, row,
No, let's go a little bit
row
lower.
your
That's going to be high, I can tell.
Yeah.
Let's try this one.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Gently down the stream, merrily life is merry, merry, merry.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
You guys will make Captain Kirk proud.
Yep.
Good, we got a tune out of you, young lady.
I have my own
Oh,
version.
she's a good singer.
I know, I just
Yeah.
wanted to get something out of Measha besides Special Olympics today.
I have my own version of row, row, row your boat. I don't know how I got it just a couple of years ago when I was doing the dishes. Something about row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dryer. Life is but a dryer. That's fascinating.
Don't quit your day job.
Now that would be interesting
We
to do.
love you,
around-
you know that.
Yeah, no. That would be a good one to do around to. Row your boat gently down. Merrily, life is but a dryer. We ought to do that in a round. All right.
Row, row,
Row your
I'll do
boat.
it. I'll do the dryer for you. I'm not a singer.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dryer.
Let's do this right. Now you're gonna get me singing. Row, row, row
Your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dryer. Isn't that fascinating?
Nope.
I think it's fascinating.
No,
It's
I'm just
surreal.
kidding.
Yeah, I know.
Just kidding. Yeah, Star Trek V. We talked about that once. That wasn't that good.
No, it wasn't.
in
I thought it was so
comparison to the
silly.
other
Yeah.
Star Trek movies. But that's what they were doing. They were singing Row Row. Can you imagine Captain Kirk and Spock?
I like it. Yeah.
That was about the only funny scene on there.
Yeah.
Well, they had another scene that I thought was funny. Dr. McCoy was cooking beans,
Hmm.
and then
Oh,
his
yeah.
magic, the secret ingredient was bourbon.
Yeah.
So they didn't tell Spock that they put bourbon in the beans, right? Boy, that's an explosive combination. Anyway, Spock's eating the beans, right? And he said, "I never tasted this brand before. What is your secret ingredient?" And Dr. McCoy says, "Well, we put a little brandy and stuff in the beans.
Mhm.
Am I to assume that alcohol is your secret ingredient?"
Hmm.
Yep. And Captain Kirk says, "You got any more of that secret ingredient?"
I love it. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was a funny line.
Yeah, well, you definitely.
That was about the only funny scene in
I
that
know.
whole movie. The rest of it was kind of lame.
Oh yeah. I saw it in the theater too.
Speaking of movies, I just recently got treated to see My Big Fat Greek Wedding #2.
Oh, good.
I don't want to give too much away, but that
Did you like
movie-
it?
Yes, it did not disappoint.
Well, that's good, yeah.
That was why I played it earlier.
Sometimes sequels disappoint, so I'm glad it didn't, yeah.
It didn't. In fact, what was impressive to me about this was they were able to get the entire cast. Everybody that was in the first one, they all appeared in the second one. Did you see the first one, My Big Fat Greek Wedding? The first movie?
I don't remember if I have or not.
Okay. Well, basically, in the first one, Tula is from Greece. She comes from a Greek family. So she meets a non-Greek. She's the first Greek person to meet a non-Greek in her family. So they end up getting together and have to go through the trials of their culture differences and family differences. And they end up getting married at the end of the first one. So the second one just picked up where the first one left off, basically. They had a little 6-year-old at the end of the first one, so that 6-year-old was now 21 in the film. So it just picked up where it left off. It was just so cute, just such a cute film. And you know what's interesting about that movie is 15 years went by in real life when they did the sequel. So when you saw the same actors physically older, that gave it more credibility
Yep.
and stuff like that. So it was just such a neat movie. I have to thank Noel McAvoy and Scott Ramp. They treated me to see that film.
Wonderful.
It was just a wonderful thing that they did for me to see that movie. But you know, time's going by. We don't have much time left. We got about 15 minutes left. See how fast this went?
Wow.
Any other further things you want to say about Special Olympics or anything else, Measha, before we wind down?
Yeah. The lady that started Special Olympics, she was born in 1921,
What was her name?
Ernest Kennedy Schreiber,
Okay.
and she died in August 2009.
And she started Special Olympics, the whole
Yes.
concept of it?
Yes, she did.
Did she have special needs herself? Or
No,
Her
her
sister
sister
did.
did.
her sister? Okay, I got you.
Rosemary.
Anything else you'd like to say? Any closing thoughts?
She was a Kennedy, Eunice Schreiber, and she
Yeah.
was a sister of John F. Kennedy.
I knew that. I did know that. Okay.
Just make sure that you guys go to somt.org and sign up to be a volunteer. We need lots of volunteers for May 17th, 18th, and 19th.
SOMT.org, got it. So,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, you can be part of that. Just go to SOMT.org and check it out for those who are interested in Special Olympics. That's a wonderful, oh, thank you. That's my secret ingredient, like
You
Captain
need to
Kirk.
go wet your whistle.
Yeah, this is my secret
With our,
ingredient.
our sparkling fruit punch.
Yeah. Oh, this doesn't have any bourbon in it. Thank the Lord for that.
Yeah.
It's my secret ingredient. So, Measha, again, thanks for being part of this show. We still got a few minutes left. Let's see if we can get one last fun thing out of Measha here. Let me think.
She won't be doing cartwheels, I don't think.
No cartwheels.
All right, try this, Measha. Let's see. Do you know this song?
Valderie? Oh. Popeye.
Oh, yeah.
You should do that alone. Sing it out.
Okay, Measha, this is your singing debut. Let's hear Popeye.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm stronger than spinach cause I eat my spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
Yay!
And that's,
Alright.
there is something to that. Do you know what you find in weightlifters' lockers?
What?
Cans of green beans.
You know, when I was a kid, I really believed that if you ate that's how my mom got me to eat that. Eat spinach for real.
Well,
When I was a little boy, I used to watch those Popeye cartoons, and she'd say, Asaph, if you eat spinach, you'll be strong like Popeye. And I fell for that trick.
yeah,
And-
but it's actually true because it has a great deal of iron in it.
Yeah, I know it's good for you.
And
Yeah.
when I was working 2 teaching jobs, and I'd rush home from one, and then I had to go to another one, and then I had to go to a meeting. And I had raw spinach in my fridge, and I would just take a handful of it and wash it off and eat it. and it gave me a lift to get through the rest
Well, it
of
might
the
give you a
day.
lift, but I mean, I was expecting to just be like Hulk, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'd eat spinach
built,
and then look.
built up muscles.
Yeah,
like
and
Popeye.
I'd eat
Energy
spinach as a
is better
kid.
than muscles.
I would
That's
I would
right.
eat spinach as a kid and look in the mirror and nothing happened. I'd still
Yeah.
be just as weak as I was 5 minutes before I ate it, and like yuck.
Well, I hate
And then
canned.
you start liking it after a while.
Oh,
I-
I love it.
I
Canned or
hate
raw.
canned spinach. It's
I
so
like the
slimy.
leafy. Yeah, it
The
is.
leafy is better, but canned, oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, I know. That's how I got started. It was that canned stuff. My mom used to literally tell me, "Asaph, eat your spinach. You'll be like Popeye."
Oh, that's horrible. I hate the canned stuff. The leafy stuff, I don't mind. Like, I've even had, like, stuffed spinach rolls with cream cheese. No, those are good. Just the raw spinach stuff with
Yeah, I like the
cream cheese,
little
I love-
leafy, the leafy raw spinach.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fun to. And you know, I like to make tacos out of that too. You know, instead
Yeah, that
of
would be
lettuce,
good.
just put spinach on it.
That would be good.
And you
But
know,
the
any of
canned
that-
stuff that's watery, oh.
Yeah. But you know, when you're like 7 years old, you get to believe in all that stuff. So
Yeah.
you know, I was just thinking, we'll probably talk about Tooth Fairy in the next episode. or
Yeah.
some movies. Talk about movies or something.
Yeah.
I was watching Tooth Fairy again just last night.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Julie Andrews, boy, she was kicking
Yeah.
some serious behind
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that.
Two fairies.
You have no idea what I'm capable of, she's telling The Rock.
I liked it when they were hitting those tennis balls at the guy playing the Tooth Fairy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were trying to teach him how to
The
fly.
fly, yes.
He didn't want to conform and fly. He's like, I probably got a bad wing because of my bad shoulder, elbow. And the guy says, you want me to turn He-Man into Peter Pan? I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you don't. And so he pulls, the other fairy pulls the lever, and the way Rock's character just shoots up in the air, he's like floating in the air trying to learn how to fly. And then they took these tennis balls, and they were hitting tennis balls at
Yeah, I never saw Tooth Fairy. The
It's
movie.
a fun,
It's a
delightful
funny
movie.
one.
Interesting.
It is. Basically, the concept of that movie, you know how when you're a kid, you could lose a tooth in real
I
life?
remember that, yeah.
And your mom tells you to wrap your tooth in a napkin?
Yeah,
You
I
wake
remember
up
that.
next morning, you have money? I fell for that too.
Yeah, same here, yeah.
But anyway, well, I was only like 5.
Same here, yeah.
Well, remember last year my granddaughter is 6 and I bought her a Tooth Fairy box at Garrett's Park.
Mm-hmm.
She was 6.
Yeah. So, good pizza.
Mhm.
Anyway,
And
as I'm
we
trying to say
thank-
when I'm stuffing my face.
MCAT.
Yeah, anyway, you're taught to put a tooth on a pillow. And the synopsis of the film, Dwayne Johnson's character didn't believe in dreams. So he was crushing these kids' dreams. He like there was a scene in there where this little boy looked up to him for being a hockey player. And he told the little boy, well, you don't want to really be a hockey player. You should just forget about your dream and forget about that, you know. And Tooth Fairies and Tooth Fairyland were watching. And they were not happy about that this athlete would crush the dreams of kids. And he almost crushed the dream of his girlfriend's daughter because she couldn't find her money under the pillow. And Dwayne Johnson's character's like, okay, you're a big girl, you're 16, you need to be told that there's no such thing. And just as he was about to say there's no such thing as a tooth fairy, the girlfriend intervened. She pulled $1 out of her purse and, here's your $1, honey, it just fell out of your pillow. She was ticked. She was so ticked at that boyfriend. And those fairies weren't happy about that, so they served him a summons. They took him to Tooth Fairyland.
Mhm.
And for punishment, he had to serve as a tooth fairy for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
So he wouldn't conform
like
at
those
first.
2 weeks.
Mm-mm. He wouldn't conform at first, and every time he messed up, they'd tack on another week. So he started taking a job serious, and he turned out to be a pretty good tooth fairy.
Interesting.
Yeah. But
Huh.
at first, Julie Andrews was
And
like,
he taught
really.
he taught one other guy that
she's
was
good at
trying
that.
to become a tooth fairy how to be a tooth fairy. They're running and jumping and,
Mm-hmm.
and all that.
Yeah. It's a fun, delightful family movie, and it's too bad they don't have a lot of family movies like that, a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend Tooth Fairy for people to see it. And I know it's been out for a number of years, like 10 years or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
But
Yeah, even things today that are G-rated, you have to carefully watch yourself.
Well, I guess
I
you're
know.
right. I never thought of that. Yeah.
But no, this was a fun family movie, and they had some pretty good special effects in it too. And as soon as he conformed and started believing in dreams and not dashing the dreams of children, then the Tooth Fairy let him go home.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to erase his memory of everything. But the change was still there, so. And then he get married. He proposes to his girlfriend at the end of the movie. That was really sweet.
What does that old silver clock say, Daddy?
Well, we got about 5 minutes left to go. Any last minute words, Emmett, you want to say?
Maybe a surreal joke.
All right, go ahead and tell your
There were
surreal
these
joke.
2 washing machines, and they were splashing around in a coffee cup. Wasn't that surreal? This one dryer came along and said, "Oh, I can't see around that." So he went to the other side of the room, the dryer went to the other side of the room, and started screaming about algebraic equations. Isn't that hilarious?
What about you, Linda?
I don't have a surreal joke.
No, I didn't mean a joke this
But
time.
I'd like us to sing Happy Trails.
All right, we can do that. Oh, that's all right.
That's fine. Happy Trails to
Oh, that's too high. I can tell. Hold
No.
on, hold on. We'll get it.
I don't know where my voice is.
No. Hold on. Give me a moment.
That's pretty low.
Okay. We'll get it. Hold on. Let's try this key.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Here's hoping that till then that you have a wonderful, wonderful week until we meet again. And everybody stay healthy, enjoy the sunshine, whether it rains or shines.
Like Lawrence Welk would say, did he say something at the end? Until then,
Adios.
keep a smile on your face and
Yeah.
a song in your heart. Something
That's
like
right.
that,
And adios, au revoir,
yeah.
Right.
Here we meet again.
Wiedersehen.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that was a... Until we meet again, keep a song in your heart. That was it, yeah.
Adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen.
And on that note, let me make some final acknowledgments. Again, we have Measha Taylor, who is our special guest on this version of Asaph
Measha
Cafe.
Porter.
I'm sorry. Porter, forgive me. I'm thinking too many things at once. Measha Porter, she's a dear friend, lives close to me. And again, I'm very proud of your accomplishments and your association with the Special Olympic Games. And affectionately on my left, we have affectionately our aging rocker Emmett and the lovely Linda Brooks Curtis. So until our next show, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Asaph Adonai. And one other thing I wanted to acknowledge the good Lord, that, you know, I've got to do this show for almost 2 years, and it's a gift. I could not do this show without people like you and guests like you, Measha, and Emmett, and the MCAT staff. And, you know, because we're going to be celebrating 100th
Wow.
Asaph Cafe 2 weeks from today.
Amazing.
2 weeks from this very day will be our 100th episode of Asaph Cafe.
Fascinating.
And God has blessed me,
Yeah.
and I would not be able to do this without all of you. So I just wanted to give my thanks to God above and
Yep.
all of my friends. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, until our next show, Maranatha. You guys make yourself at home, and I'm going to set everything up, and in a little bit we'll do a second show.
Oh, fascinating.
I'm not going to be here for the second show.
That's okay, no problem.
Okay, Lisa. But I'm sure